This new guy meme irritates me because it says something so not just true but obvious that it drives me nuts that things like this still go viral and aren't just considered like old news. And so what the new guy thing is, for those of you, as if you don't already know, just to paraphrase what it is, it's like some SJW, some trans male to female trans person has this comic about a character that's basically a Mary Sue insert of themselves, a man pretending to be a woman with purple hair, and the first panel is she laughing, or whatever, he, she, I don't give a fuck, whatever, they are laughing at their phone, and some guy walks up to her. Now this is a big, tall, fat, bald guy, not too dissimilar from me, right? Looks at her and goes like, "Oh, what are you laughing about?" And they're like, "How this gamer douche bro got his house robbed." Probably referring to PewDiePie's house got robbed, or one of his houses anyway. The guy's filthy rich, and he's like, "Wow, that's not really something you should be laughing about. It's not very funny." And then the purple haired character goes, "I can tell you and I are about to be new friends." And the guy goes, "Wow, really?" And then she goes, "No," with a face like this. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, the SJW who wrote this thinks the good guy is her." And she's trying to communicate that the fat bald guy, the new guy, is a bad person, or unlikable, or wrong. Probably all of the above. And the exact opposite is true. The bizarre thing about that comic, by the way, is supposedly the new guy, the meme about him, is supposed to represent like a skinhead or a Nazi of some kind, when everything about his design is like the gentle giant trope. This very plain, placid, almost puppy-like stupid face. He's big and pudgy. He's not muscular or intimidating. His posture is very passive. And so is his speech. The, "Oh, wow, really? Like, we're going to be friends?" Meanwhile, the Mary Sue insert character with the purple hair has beady, really close together eyes, a bitchy expression. Her posture, she literally wrings her hands. I'm holding my phone, so I can't do it with both hands, like a villain. Some people would say like a Jew. A Jew stereotype. No, I just mean like a villain, like that. And is a cunt. And relishing the misfortune of others, even if they're bad people, actually is not what you would consider like moral, or at the very least not virtuous. Now, the scary thing is when looking at this, seeing how unvirtuous this character is, who thinks they have virtue. It leads me to think about the peculiar problem we have where words get ruined. One of the scariest words to ruin is virtue. Virtue isn't just being good. Virtue isn't being nice. Virtue is honor, duty, self-sacrifice, service to the community, caring more about tomorrow than today, hard work, everything that produces successful, happy, and fulfilled people are what we consider virtue. Like, virtue is a very important concept. Now, we don't just have a very decadent, lackadaisical, selfish society. We don't just have that. We have these things called postmodernists. They're also called SJWs, Marxists, socialists. They're all the same things. They believe in this concept called deconstruction, which is whatever the status quo is, whatever our society is now, is wrong and must be deconstructed. Another word for that is to be destroyed. Now, everything we have now is because certain virtues were upheld. Now, it does eventually lead that having all these nice things means to a decadent and spoiled brat of a society. And that's kind of the point we're at now. The whole hard times create hard men, and hard men create good times, and good times create soft men, and soft men create hard times, or however exactly it goes. Something like that, right? We're in the soft men creating hard times. Part of that little line. And the reason why we have it so good is because our society is what it has been made, with certain virtues in mind and certain virtues producing this quality that we have. And these people have decided that everything that is good, that has allowed us to live such good lives where we have it so good, needs to be destroyed. We have a word for people who take good things and good people and destroy them and laugh about it and wring their hands. That word is villain. And how bizarre is it that I've been saying this for like literally almost 5 years now? No, actually, not more than literally 5 years ago. 5 years. 5 fucking years. I've been saying they are not just wrong, they are evil. They're not just ignorant. These leftists are evil. What they want to do is destroy things and take things away from them. And I've seen other people point out that the behavior of this pink-haired character in this comic, where she is relishing the misfortune of another person, that's the entire point of what she's doing in the comic. There's a word for this. It's called sadism. And what I have been saying for the last 5 years is leftists are violent sadists. They're not just selfish. They're not just stupid. They are violent sadists. And what they want is to destroy your stuff or steal your stuff and then hurt you. Literally. And I don't mean your feelings. I mean your body and your property. They want to attack you. They want to kill you. And when these people get power, that's what they do. Every single time socialists get power, people get genocided, things get stolen and destroyed. Because they are evil. What do villains do? They steal, they destroy, they take power, and they lord that power over a people. Leftists are, by definition, evil villains who are violent sadists, murderers, killers, literally, not comparatively, not figuratively. It's not a figure of speech. It is a fact. By definition, it's what they want and what they do when they can get what they want. Virtue is things that are usually not easy or fun or enjoyable. They're usually hard. Having compassion for your enemies is difficult. I don't like it when like leftists and feminists and shit get hurt. And, I don't sit here and clap gleefully if I find out like some left-wing person I don't like got cancer or something, or got fired. The extent of any kind of celebration, for lack of a better word, that I usually have when one of them loses their job or gets fired or gets sued or is retaliated against some way, is just good riddance. Because the solution to people like this is not, like the solution to leftists and shit, it's not like to kill them or to have them die of a plague or something like that. It's for them to stop fucking being like that. I don't need my enemies to be destroyed. I need my enemies to not be my enemies anymore. I would much rather more people wake up and realize the left is evil and change their fucking mind than anything bad to happen to them at all. I don't need their repentance. I need them to realize what they're doing is not just wrong and ignorant, it is fundamentally, inescapably, and arguably evil, despicable, degenerate, subhuman behavior, and that they can and should stop. Because it is a fact that you have to be evil to be a leftist. The level of ignorance it takes to just not know enough to realize that the left is wrong, and not just wrong but evil, is so utterly tremendous, especially in this information age where information is so fucking inescapable, that part of the reason why you're seeing how evil the left is all the time is because everybody who has a brain and the ability to generate human compassion and dignity to actually be what I consider the properties of like what makes a man, like what makes a good person, not even just a virtuous person, just a good person. Because, nice people can be lazy and passive. I'm probably as good of excuse of that, as good as an example of a good person who's not virtuous at all. I'm not very virtuous anyway. I'm relatively passive and lazy. That's why we still do these iPhone videos. But I at least recognize what is better, who is more moral, and not just who's more moral, but who's actually valuable to society. And it's not the left in any capacity. Not liberals, not neoliberals, not enlightened centrists who are always left-wing people. No, none of the above. It's not just SJWs, it's not just feminists, it's not just Marxists or socialists or fucking activists or this, that, or the other thing. These people have precisely none of the moral high ground and claim to be the pinnacle of it at all times. It is their defining characteristics besides one other thing, the violent sadism thing. The fundamental feature of a leftist is not their belligerence, it's not their ignorance, it's not their selfishness, and it's not their greed. The fundamental thing that underpins all leftists is their capacity and desire for violent sadism. Like I said before about this comic, what this character is doing and gloating about the misfortune and robbery of this this other person's home just because they're a gamer bro douche is what's called sadism. Relishing the pain of others is the least human thing that a human being can do. One of my favorite quote of all time, and I never ever waste an opportunity to say this, is, if you make a starving dog prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and a man. It's Mark Twain quote. There is no gratitude. There's no honor. There is no compassion or human soul in leftists. They are less than human. When I call them subhuman animals, it's because they are actually less than a lot of animals. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. And that is because we've gone through all of history where the fundamental trope of what is a villain is somebody who relishes the pain of others. The chief quality of a villain in all of fiction is sadism. There are very few villains that are not sadists in fiction, period. That's like literally what a villain is. And what a hero does is somebody who puts himself in danger to stop sadists. That's literally the entire thing in 2 sentences. That's all human myth. The leftists need to realize that they are evil and to get on, well, the right side of history, you fucking jackasses. Scum. Thanks for watching.